This is the story of the single most deadliest animal to have ever lived and will become one of the greatest manhunters of all time. In the dense forest of the Himalaya foothills, a chilling legend emerged in the late 19th to early 20th century that will forever engrave the name Chippewa tiger into history. This fabled beast, a female Bengal tigress, terrorized the villages of the northern India and Nepal, leaving behind a trail of death and despair that will capture the attention of the world. In the early 1900s, the Chippewa tiger was responsible for a series of deadly attacks on humans in the Kamar region of India. The tiger has operated in the region for 7 years and has taken a total of record 436 human lives. In the known history of man-eating beasts, no other animal has killed that many people. She has been recognized by the Guinness Book of World Record for killing most people, which is yet unbeatable. Local communities were terrorized, and there was a desperate need to eliminate the threat posed by the tiger. This tigress had likely experienced some form of injury or dental issues that rendered her unable to hunt her natural prey effectively. Faced with a dire need for sustenance, she turned to the villages and settlements surrounding the forest for her meals. She started to operate from the hills of Nepal, and at first the attacks were sporadic and isolated, but they soon escalated into a reign of terror when she made her first human kill. She was not taken seriously as during that time, when the forest was dense and less human habitation, the occasional killings by wild animals reports from the villages located in the hills. But when the humans killing was on a spree, the local government acted, but by that time she already killed 200 people. Villagers living in the shadow of the forest lived in constant fears, their livelihoods and lives at the mercy of the fearsome big cat. As the death toll continued to rise, panic spread like wildfire, leading to the widespread hysteria and the collapse of the local economies. The Neapolitan army was called in and to ask to kill the tigress. The Neapolitan army personnel are mostly hailed from the hills as they know the forest like the back of their hands very well. They tried to kill her, but every time she escapes the bullet of even expert shikaras. Later, army with support from villagers has pushed her towards the Sharada River, which flowed on India and Nepal border. She crossed the river and landed in the Indian territory where she found a safe place to operate. Later, once the tigress established herself in the Kaman Hills, she started her killing spree again. She started operating in the many villages with the Chippewa in the center, rotating her kills through multiple villages. Her strategy is to kill far away from the previous place so that it's difficult for people to find her. The tigress made her first kill of a young girl while the girl was cutting grass with a group of women. She was a little isolated, and at the time when this tiger ambushed the little girl, she already had killed and they attacked her. In the later years, the Kaman Hills were living in the fear of her terror. The tigress was mostly to kill women and children, as they were easy to overpower. Also, she made a kill of a during the daytime, unlike leopards and other tigers who prefer the darkness to make a kill. She lost all her fear in the humans because she kept hunting and killing them. The British colony administration, which governed India at the time, recognized the urgency of the situation and dispatched skilled hunters to put an end to the rampage. Then came Jim Corbett, a renowned British hunter, conservation, and artist who would eventually become the protagonist of this tale. Jim Corbett arrived in the Chapar region armed with his wits and a deep respect for the wildlife he was about to confront. Understanding the complexities of dealing with a man-eating animal, Corbett applied a mix of traditional hunting methods and innovative strategies he set up. He set up baits, traps, and ambushes, relying on his knowledge of animal behavior and the patterns to predict the tiger's movement. After months of an intense pursuit, Corbett's effort bore fruit. In the spring of 1907, when the tigress killed a 16-year-old girl and led a trail of blood which Jim Corbett followed, and then he managed to locate and fatally wound the Chippewa tiger. The tigress ran away, and he was able to find her eventually later and finally shot her in the head, putting her end to her terror. As the villagers that have lived in the fear for years finally found some relief, Corbett X combined with his deep empathy for the natural world, has brought an end to a dark chapter in the ring's history. A post-mortem of the tiger showed that her upper and her lower canine teeth on the right side of her mouth is broken due to an old gunshot, which forces her to kill humans as an easy prey. Her condition was analyzed and she was found in a healthy condition and estimated to be of 10 to 12 years old, which means she started killing humans when she was quite young. However, what makes this incident truly inspiring is not Corbett's hunting prowess, but the impact it had on his perspective. After the hunt, Corbett realized the devastating consequences of unchecked human activities on wildlife and their habitat. This experience marked a turning point in his life, leading him to shift from being a hunter to a dedicated conversations. The story of the Chopauwa tiger didn't end with his demise. However, this tragic saga highlighted the complex relationship between humans and wildlife, promoting questions about coexistence and conversation. Corbett himself underwent a transforming shifting from a to a passionate advocate for preserving India's diverse ecosystems and the creatures that inhabit them. Corbett's experience with the Chippewa Tigers were instrumental in shaping his conversation's outlook, and he went to play a private role in the establishment of the India's first national park, the Haley National Park, which would be renamed James Corbett National Park in his honor. His efforts contributed to the protection of the Bengal tiger and the other endangered species, ensuring that future generations have the opportunity to appreciate the beauty and majesties of India's natural world. The legend of the Chippewa tiger lives as a casual tale, reminding us of the delicate balance between humans' activities and the environment. It serves as a statement to the power of the human determination and ingenuity in the face of adversaries, as well as the capacity for empathy that can transfer a hunter into a conversation. And that is it for the story of the Chippewa tiger.